Hey everyone, this is Britton with Aligned with Prosperity, Power, and Purpose. And today we're going to jump right into our series on how are your emotions keeping you from being financially successful. Today we're going to talk about something interesting called creative insecurity. That's an emotion. I think that, especially if you're in the creative arts, more than anyone, I think you probably understand creative insecurity, especially if you are trying to measure yourself by others who've reached where you want to reach, who have been more successful than you at this particular point in your career, then you probably understand creative insecurity really well. And sometimes I think people forget that even though you're in the creative arts, it's still a business. And so if you're suffering from creative insecurity, then it's going to hamper the rest of your business endeavors as a creative person. I know there are a lot of you, okay, so technically you don't consider yourself creative, but like I told you before, I think that's far from the truth. God created everybody to be creative, and it just didn't stipulate you had to be a musician or an artist or a jewelry designer or anything else like that. It meant everybody. So let me read you a couple quotes. This one is by Dorfsman, and it says, creativity is essentially a lonely art, and even lonelier struggle. To some a blessing, to others a curse. It is in reality the ability to reach inside yourself and drag forth from your very soul an idea. It's true. Creativity and being in business can be very lonely, especially if you're the only one who really sees the vision. Okay, it is hard to get other people to recognize where you're going and your vision, especially if you're totally not clear on it. That makes it even worse. But there's sometimes people just don't get it. They just don't understand, well, why are you doing that? Or why are you joining that company? Or why, are you going to blog every day? What's the purpose? What's the point? Well, you know what? You don't really owe them an answer, but you owe yourself an answer. You owe yourself to know why you're doing what you're doing. Let me read you one other quote from 2 Timothy 1:7. For God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline. When you have self-discipline and you know that you're operating in your power and you are not timid about what it is you're doing, that chases away your creative insecurity because you know what you're called to do. It's really simple. I'm a creative person, and I can speak being a creative person and a business person when I am not sure about maybe my giftings, or I'm feeling insecure about my giftings because somebody else does it better, has more training than I do, has been doing it longer. I become really insecure about my own creative call, my own creative gifts. And I can't be all that I was called to be if I'm not secure in my own foundation of who I am as a creative person, as a business person, as a woman. They all intertwine. So it's really important to understand where your creative insecurities come from. Do they come from outside sources, or are they coming from within your own self? Are you telling yourself, well, I'm not good enough yet because I didn't take this dance class, or I'm not good enough yet because I haven't, reached this particular level in my business? Or are you listening to the voices of other people who are telling you, well, so and so is better and has, this and that and the other thing, and I don't know if you'll ever get there. That's their opinion. That's not the truth. It may be their truth, but it's not your truth. And you have to decipher between the two, and then you need to walk in your truth, you need to walk in your creativity, you need to walk in your gifting. And everybody's gift is different. There's no two people on the face of this earth who have the same gifting. Alright, there might be many people who can sing, but every person who sings doesn't possess the same gift at singing as the other person does. Everybody has their own sphere of influence. Everybody has their own audience. You need to find your audience where you can grow. You need to find your own audience that you can touch and be of value to. And that is not just as a singer or a songwriter or a dancer or an artist or a jewelry designer or whatever creative endeavor you're in the creative arts. But that also goes in business. Some of you are spectacular at marketing, okay? And that's your gift. That's your creative gift. But if you start comparing yourself to some, 100-year-old Madison Avenue company and how they market because they have $1 billion budget, you're going to be insecure about your own giftings, and that's wrong, because there are people who need you just as you are to offer just what you have to offer. So do that. Do that instead of comparing yourself, because once we start comparing ourselves, we lose all of our creativity. We just do, because comparison is so draining. It really is. It's so draining, and it's just not worth it. We have time. Let's put it this way. We all have 24 hours in a day. Time is limited. Okay, we need to put forth our best foot at all times, as much as humanly possible. And if you waste your time on your insecurities or your confusion or, conflict or bitterness or any emotion that's not serving you, then you cannot be of value to those people who need you. And then you're robbing them. And that's wrong. Okay, that's wrong. So this is Britain aligned with purpose, prosperity, and power. And I just wish you the very best day. And I wish that any insecurity that might come up in your life today or any other day, that you'll be able to notice it and recognize it and then deal with it. Have a great day.